Kipcho, this is Brandon Wendell, charter market technician, and I'm going to do some analysis on the Nifty and Bank Nifty indexes. Starting off here on the weekly chart of the Nifty, as you can see, we've got lower high and now finally lower low as of last week. So we are officially in a bearish trend. Since we've left the highs here from 2021, let's see where we are. The lowest we got was about 12% retracement. We're down just a little under 10%, about 9.75% currently. So we're in corrective mode, but officially on a weekly chart, you have lower highs and lower lows, which is a bearish trend. Now, the only saving grace is that we did not go below 40 yet on the RSI, which means we don't have extreme bearish pressure, but the fact that we tried to make a high right here, I'll point it out, you can see on the weekly chart, we tried to make a high, but we put in that high with the RSI below 40, and that's what led us to the breakdown of the prior lows. Because typically when you make a high where you're not above 60, where you are above 60, excuse me, right there, we're above 60 on that high, the subsequent low can't go below the previous lows. But when you make a high that you're not above 60, then you're free to break prior lows. And that's exactly what we did there. So we're bearish here. The interesting thing will be if we make another high that's below 60 on the RSI without breaching this high of 17,794, then expect new lows to be made. As a matter of fact, I think we are going to push down. Our next real strong area of demand that we have is not until 15,856. So you can see we have rally, base, rally, or wherever you want to mark it, maybe from back here, but that's where the origin of the buying pressure comes from. So we go down to the daily time frame, and you can see how choppy we've been. A lot of gapping activity, especially with what happened over in the Ukraine. We had the big gap down, and we dropped but recovered after making a fresh low. It'll be interesting to see if we can refill the gap. This was a pretty large gap we're trying to push back up through. We will not make a new high, though, most likely. We'll probably end up filling the gap, maybe turning around or even turning around prior to the gap fill, possibly even at these prior lows right here. And the reason why is we started our move off the low from below 40. As you can see, the last time we did that was right here. We had that big gap down, same pattern. You cannot make new highs in price when you start your move from below 40. So we're doing it again, same pattern. We started to move up 2 days instead of one like this, and we'll eventually roll over and turn back down. It could be at 16,843 or it could be at 17,063 where we start to turn down, but we will turn down. And I can even look to see if there's any kind of demand on this time frame. We did see the daily demand at 15,856. Sorry, the weekly demand there. And for daily, it's pretty much the same area. This is your zone. Drop right there, base, and slight rally. Although, let's see, what's the high here? 15,881, 15,885, that closed above. So, yep, that's the zone. 15,800 is where we're heading right now after we have this little pullback or this little rally that's going up. So we may end up stalling out, as I mentioned, 16,843, somewhere between there and 17,063. Not sure if I can fine tune that or not. I'll try that on a smaller time frame. It may just be, let's see, we hit a retracement. Oh, what happened? Hit the button too soon. Got to set it. There we go. Set it. And now when we look at the retracement, you can see we've retraced 61.8% of the impulse down. So this is a pretty good spot for us to potentially turn around. If we do try to go higher, again, we could turn at any one of those 3 points, the 16,843, which is the prior low right here, the retracement value 16,982, or the gap closure of 17,063. But we're not going to make a new high most likely before we turn down again. Going into a smaller time frame, let's try the 4-hour. Don't really see anything else here. So there's nothing new. Again, we can see the gap closure right there. And dropping down to a 60-minute. Just trying to fine tune the entry, see if there's a place to get in, and there really isn't. We're just kind of dying off. Notice we're getting more mixed red and green. That usually happens before you start to drop. You get instead of the domination of green, now we get red, green, red. So we're seeing weakness, and the candles are even getting smaller. Usually happens before you roll over. And you see we're doing all this without being able to get above 60. So that's very, very weak, and the trend's likely to fall down. I don't really have a great entry for this. Could just be a gap down. We just go. Just have to watch. Turning our attention to the big picture again. Oops. Now we'll go to Bank Nifty. There we go, Nifty Bank. And go to the big picture once again, weekly chart. You can see that I was expecting this to collapse down, and it did exactly as I expected it to. So let's clean up our chart. We just have continuous movements down. We never got above 60 as we rallied up. So there's underlying weakness. Of course, we're not getting below 40 either. So we're just kind of stuck, moving back and forth, a little bit choppy. Going to the daily time frame, big gap down, retracement back up. Let's see how much we've retraced. After this impulse down, there we are. About 61%, 61.8 right there. There's a retracement, and we're just kind of back and forth. We did go below 40, can't get above 60. So I think we may be about done with our rally, getting ready to turn around and head back down again. If we do, actually, before I change time frames, let's see where our next demand zone is. This is one we've already hit, so it's got to be below. There we are. And as we go back, nothing great in this area. It's not really good buying pressure anywhere. You have a possible, no, it's already used. This little area as a demand zone has already been used, as you can see. So we could free fall all the way down. There's our next zone. So do we have anything along the way? Not really. Origin of the big rally right there, way down at 24,277. So there might be a little bit of a bounce at the untested portion of this zone. See how deep we went right there. So 29,687 is possible. But then ultimately we should be able to get down in this bearish trend to 24,277. That's a pretty big drop from where we are right now. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame, see if we can refine anything, possibly for entries. And no, again, you see us kind of stalling out inside of the Fibonacci retracements. We had a 61.8 initial retracement, then we pushed down to the 23.6, and they're bouncing up again, maybe the 50 before we go down. Who knows? But I'm not really getting a good sense of anything other than we've got lots of weakness. Dropping down even to the 60-minute time frame, you know, this is just one big supply zone. You had rally, base, and drop from 36,425, 36,684. That's it. So I'm not seeing anything else that looks any promising for the Nifty. It looks pretty weak for all these markets that are likely to continue our push to the downside. And even if I use some extensions from the highs, impulse down, correction up. You know, if we do bounce off this 36,425, target number one would be 34,991, as you can see. It's actually 964. Sorry. 34,964, target one, 33,901 for target number two. If we bounce off that hourly supply, 36,425. So that's all I got for you right now on the Nifty and Bank Nifty. If you got any more questions, let me know. Hope to see you subscribe to the video. If you liked it, let me know as well. And until next time, everyone, trade safe, trade well, and take care.